Today we're going to be talking about why a 38 Special Snubnose Revolver is the perfect gun for pocket carry. How's it going, guys, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. My name is Chad and this is the Hopeful Homestead. As a husband, as a father, protecting your family is obviously paramount. And the type of gun, the type of cartridge you choose to carry with you on the daily is imperative to being able to do just that, protecting your family. And for me, as I've broken down before on this channel, I prefer pocket carry. Here in South Florida, it gets hot most of the year. You know, you're sweating a lot. Having anything in the waistband here, yeah, there's a lot of guys who do it, but for me, it's just too uncomfortable and difficult to do. Personally, I like some of the tactical advantages of pocket carry that presents itself versus in the waistband carry as well. I don't like the idea of having to pull up a shirt and get that out of the way and not snagging your gun on that when you're pulling it out. Yeah, with practice, I'm sure you can get pretty good at it. But for me, being able to, you cannot fire your gun from an in the waistband position. If you do, you're shooting yourself pretty much. But with pocket carry, you can fire from the pocket pretty easily, and there's an advantage to that. Even from a jeans pocket, it is possible to do. But even if you don't plan on firing from the pocket, you can at least have your hand in your pocket with a good purchase on your gun ready to draw if you're in a situation where you feel a little bit uneasy. If you're walking through a dark parking lot at night and there's a strange person out there that's eyeing you, you can have your hand on your gun in your pocket ready to go. And to me, that is a much more worthwhile tactical advantage than having more ammunition at your disposal because you've got a bigger gun that has bigger ammo capacity that you can more easily carry in the waistband. For me, I'd rather my ability to get my first one or two shots off to be that much easier is a better trade-off versus having something that has more ammunition that's harder to get to. And when it comes to pocket carry, that's why I've talked about many times on this channel why I love snub-nose revolvers. Now I'm going to unload this real quick so that I can handle the gun safely here. Take all those 38 Special rounds out. You can see it is unloaded. But I love snub-nose revolvers for this very purpose because they're easy to fire. Being that this is a double action revolver, I can just pull the trigger as many times as I want and it'll keep firing. Being that it's a revolver, you can push the muzzle of this up against your target and it will fire regardless of the pressure you're putting on the barrel. That can't be said about semi-auto pistols. If that slide is depressed in any way, it's not going to fire. You can fire this thing from in the pocket very easily. Like I was mentioning before, there's a lot of reasons to like snub-nose revolvers for pocket carry, and specifically 38 Special. Being this is 38 Special plus P, so you can put a little bit of a hotter load in this, but I just carry this with standard pressure 38 Special because for me the loudness of 38 Special is manageable without hearing protection on. I'm not going to damage my ears or my family's ears. If I keep this in my center console up at the in front of my cup holders near my gear shifter in my Bronco, and if anybody's ever trying to break into our car while we're trying to flee a scene for some reason, I can pull that gun and fire right here directly in front of my face, fire out the window at an attacker. And being that this is standard pressure 38 Special, inside that close of a quarter scenario that's enclosed, it's probably still going to do a little bit of damage to your ears, but it's going to be nowhere near as bad as trying to fire off 357 Magnum or 9mm. Certainly 9mm is much louder than 38 Special. And so for me, I like having that as a factor. My gun isn't going to completely destroy my ears or my family's ears in a self-defense scenario. And recoil management. 38 Special, even in this small and light of a gun, this is a Ruger LCRX, and 38 Special allows me to be able to fire this gun with very easy recoil management. Getting follow-up shots is not difficult because 38 Special is not that much recoil. Yet it's still a formidable round in terms of its size, and if you're using flat nose bullets with that, it's still leaving a pretty hefty thump on a target, much in the same vein as 45 Colt in terms of how it leaves a pretty heavy hit but doesn't overpenetrate as well. So that's another reason if you're out in public using this in a self-defense scenario, you're not going to be overpenetrating and blowing through someone and becoming a danger to someone behind your target either. So that's why I like 38 Special so much for pocket carry. And the final factor here is that, as you can see, this cylinder is not even as wide as two of my fingers. I mean, it is maybe 1.25 inches wide. So it is a 5-shot cylinder, but the diameter of 38 Special, being that with a 5-shot cylinder, makes the actual, form factor of this gun very thin, which means that when you have it in a pocket holster, it is not taking up very much room. It can fit in your pocket comfortably and it won't be printing that much, which means that this can just be an extension of you every time you leave the house. And that is an important factor. Carrying some big old heavy gun that is uncomfortable to carry might mean that in a pinch, when you're just heading out for a few minutes to grab something real quick at your local grocery store or something, you might choose to leave your gun behind. And yes, if you are a steadfast concealed carrier of a 18 round mag, full size 9mm pistol, or a full size 1911, you know, with 45 ACP stuck inside the waistband, and you never fail, you carry it every time, more power to you. I'm glad you do. Most people out there are gonna sometimes, because of the size of those guns, choose to not carry it with them. Whereas with this thing, I carry this like it's automatic. It's with me all the time because it's so light, so minimal, so non-printable, and it fits in my pocket so well that I don't have to even think about it. It's always with me. And sometimes I'll carry bigger, you know, more full-size guns in addition to this, and this is still with me no matter what, as a backup gun. And so that's why I think a 38 Special Snubnose Revolver is so great for pocket carry. And if you're thinking about pocket carrying, definitely consider one of these over any sort of semi-auto pistol for sure. Because this, you could just pull it, pull the trigger, and it fires. But you also, this is the LCRX, you can pull that hammer and have single action capability in terms of a light trigger pull that is very accurate to be able to deploy in a situation where you've got a little time to be able to pull the gun and make an accurate shot. I like that flexibility of having the difference between a double action pull where I can just bang, bang, bang if I'm in a close-up scenario where aiming isn't as important. If I'm in a situation where I've got a little bit of time, I can be able to pull that hammer and be able to aim down the sights and have no problem hitting my target because I'm using a nice light trigger pull from the single action capability. So it's a multi-function gun versus a semi-auto pistol just being, you can only fire one way and it only behaves one way. And so I like having that flexibility in something like a Snubnose Revolver. And 38 Special pairs with this thing in a perfect way for maximum amount of punch while also keeping the recoil down and the noise down as well. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. Again, my name is Chad. This is the Hopeful Homestead. And if you feel like sticking around, I got a video right here that's all about the importance of carrying a gun every day as a husband and father. So go check that out and I'll see you over in that video. Thanks, guys.